Hi guys, it's Monday, the first Monday in May of 2021, and this celebrates almost a year for us doing this program. I started back early May 2020 going through my record collection and just seeing what I had on hand to be able to kind of show you the albums I had or the CDs and maybe make some recommendations on things you might find interesting to give a listen to. Here we are a year later, 150 episodes and still going. So thanks to everybody that's watched the program, those that have subscribed. I appreciate those that are giving it a like, that are sharing it, that are responding on Facebook. Feel free to share those posts as well. Today, Monday's being a jazz day, we're going to look at one of my friends and one of the 10 best lead trumpet players in the world, Roger Ingram. Now, Roger spent a lifetime as a sideman, playing behind people like Tom Jones, Ray Charles, Paul Anka. He recorded for a number of different groups. One of the recordings I have here, I don't know if you can see it from there, the Lincoln Center Jazz Orchestra. He had recorded with them and played with them for a while. He also was members of Woody Herman's band, Maynard Ferguson's band, and for 20 years, lead trumpet player for Harry Connick. Now, I couldn't find any albums that I had of Roger playing with Woody Herman, but I did have a CD, Footpath Cafe by Maynard Ferguson, and Roger's playing lead trumpet on this one. And also, in one of the tunes, gets a chance to play some plunger trumpet. I believe it was a song called Poison Y'all Blues. We've got Roger Ingram on plunger trumpet and Maynard playing regular trumpet. So, a nice album to have featuring him as a sideman. Now, he's done a couple of albums, and the ones I'm going to talk about today are really going to be the ones that he's self-produced and showing what he's doing these days. Now, my family and I, we first met Roger back in 2008. He was touring with Harry Connick. I was doing a lesson with him. And yeah, it was a real friendly attitude. The whole family got to come, and we kind of sat in during the lesson, talked to Roger, found out what was going on in the world of music. And we've kind of kept in touch over the years. And I find there's a lot of great information available, both on his website, when I get a chance to talk to him, and on YouTube. This past week, in fact, Roger did a clinic for Long and McQuaid music in Canada. And you'll find it on YouTube, Trumpet Tips. It might say tips for trumpeters over 50. It might call it a virtual class. But it's a recent post up there by Long and McQuaid, and a lot of good information. People are asking Roger questions regarding warm-ups, regarding playing issues, and you're getting a one-on-one with one of the top educators and performers. As well, I got a lot of Harry Connick albums that he's playing on, and again, there's some great trumpet playing there. If you're looking at the Christmas albums, there was great stuff. I don't think there's a bad Harry Connick album that the big band's playing on. So a lot of those videos tied in with that, Roger posts on his Facebook page. There'll be clips from some of the shows they've been involved with. He runs musical clips from some of the albums. And so between his Facebook and his YouTube, you can find quite a few interesting facts. You get performances, there's some master classes on there. There's a lot of great information. Because Roger, as he was going at this point, not only was he performing, but he was becoming an educator. He used to do what they called podology tours, when he'd go across the southern Ontario and into New York and just doing lessons in his off season. He'd load up the car or the van and head out and stop in these different cities and conduct clinics or lessons along the way, trying to pass that information he'd acquired on to other students. So two of the albums I picked up, and this is when Roger started recording on his own. These are self-produced albums. This one produced by Roger and his wife Victoria, and it was his first release, live at the College Hideaway. And this was a chance we got to see Roger outside of lead player for a big band. He was actually doing ballads, doing some improvising. Another side of Roger Ingram that we hadn't seen at this point, because up until then, we'd only just seen the lead player. And there's a Jim Stewart Orchestra is who he used as a backup band, and they recorded this in 2 hours. Came in, live recording. That was it. Press it, get it out for sale, and some pretty interesting stuff. A lot of tunes here. I'm just going to take my glasses off so I can read it a little easier. One day I had the blues. We've got Superstar, which was, first I heard it was Leon Russell with Joe Cocker. And later, Woody Herman had a version of it on his Giant Steps album. It was Dave Saul playing trumpet. Here Roger is taking Woody's tune, the Gary Anderson arrangement, and performing it on here. So it's Leon Russell's Superstar. Enchanté, Sway, Yesterday by McCartney, Rehearsal Blues, and again we got trumpet solos in there. Sometimes trumpet's just playing, or Roger's just playing lead. You'll find that on his second album as well, another self-produced one called Skylark. This one I only have on digital download, so I don't have a hard copy of it. But some of the same things. Roger doing ballads, doing improvising, and playing lead in a big band behind a singer. I mean, that's one of the things that he does so well. And in this album especially, there's a couple of tunes, Charade and just one of those things that they've got a magnificent singer and Roger's playing lead with the big band. A couple of tunes on here that are significant. Skyfall from the James Bond film. And again, paying tribute to one of Roger's friends and mentors, Derek Watkins. And if you recall, I'm just going to go back and look, we featured Derek back in episode 124, the James Last episode, where we talked about Derek playing lead trumpet for James Last. As well, we looked at that time into the Thunderball soundtrack. Now, if you remember, I mentioned Derek played lead trumpet for all the James Bond films, from Dr. No right through to Skyfall. And that was his last one before he passed. And this song, or this performance of Skyfall, is kind of like Roger's tip of the hat or tribute to that great trumpet player, Derek Watkins. We've got those two vocalists we mentioned. I got another song on here called Forever One, which was written by Ted Piercefield. And you may remember him, and I think it was back, I'm going to check episode 40. We talked about the band Chase. And Ted was one of the founding members of the band Chase, trumpet player and vocalist with them. So Roger's also included one of his tunes in here, so that's kind of a nice flashback as well. Roger's albums, again, a different side of what we heard all along when he was playing lead, to show us just what other things he can do. A great ballad player, some nice improvisation in there, some nice charts, and really featured out front. So if you get a chance, check out his Facebook page, check out his website, rogeringram.com. Books available, mouthpieces, all kinds of teaching aids, calendar. Roger's still doing lessons. He's doing Skype lessons as well. So if you want to get in on a lesson, here's a chance to get one from a professional player right from the comfort of your home, which is kind of a great thing during the pandemic. And a couple of excellent albums. Now, Skylark, it is available on the streaming networks. You can get hard copies. I couldn't find Live from the College Hideaway. I think it used to be up on the streaming networks. I didn't see it there recently, so I don't know if it's still in print. When I went to Roger's website, I could find Skylark, but I didn't find this one as well. But if you can get a hold of one, first album that he produced on his own after getting out from the big band and the touring. So a real nice chance to see the other side of Roger Ingram. Okay, that's it for today. A great trumpet player, educator, someone who's always willing to share and help out the other trumpet players coming up, and lots of good material available, whether it's on the streaming networks, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's through his website. So take a chance, check it out. We'll see you on Wednesday when we're back with Classic Rock. Take care.